Journey of love, and no matter what may come my way, God's love is our vision. Oh, this love is like the genesis of time, and that's where we'll remain.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Marriage According to Genesis. Just trying to make sure that everybody can hear us and give a moment for a couple of people to come back on. All right. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. And once again, welcome to Marriage According to Genesis. Um, oh, Lord.
Was that supposed to change?
We,
Don't do that. Hello.
we're going through this already. But you know what? All is well. We are fixing some things here, so bear with us as we had to reset. We had a pretty good busy weekend. Friday we had the first in person
Yes.
called and chosen, which was amazing. So I want to say thank you to everyone that prayed and supported, and that was there. We had a pretty great time. One thing for sure, the Lord was really present. It wasn't just a space of a presence; He was actually present. And I think, as Renisha had posted, to see that there were leaders that was there and nobody was fighting for the mic and all that good stuff. We really, really enjoyed God. And matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this real quick, since we are in that space. Um, let's see here. Uh, you are invited. Matter of fact, Renisha invites you.
We invite you to the Called and Chosen September the 4th. So that is the monthly Called and Chosen September 4th. So definitely mark your calendar and be in the building as we worship and just enjoy the Lord. So that's September 4th at 7 p.m. at 1029 Broadway at the Robin Nest. And we definitely would love to have you.
And also, I'm gonna go ahead and put this up. This is the schedule for the rest of the year. So take a moment and write those dates down.
Except the November one. That one will actually be November the 27th.
Yeah, we'll update that. I appreciate it. Meanwhile, since we on the church announcements, watch this. We have the marriage according to Genesis. Uh, rest of those dates. Let's see, is that November 24th? So, like I said, we're just kind of resetting everything here. So I hear a buzz and it's getting on my nerves, but Lisa's looking at me like, if you don't come on here, so I'm gonna tolerate the buzz.
They got OCD when it comes to IT.
Listen, I just believe in things being, being excellent as much as possible. But we know how technology does when it want to do what it does, but also preparation. So, but all is well. So to get to some other things here, I'm going to go ahead and put hers up. If you have any need any services, you need to go get service the Almighty way. Renisha is the master cosmetologist. She's great at locks, dreads, repairs, and extensions. And as I always be cracking up about, if you got nappy roots, you can go get those nappy roots rooted and grounded in the Lord. Fix your crown. But she's also a registered tax professional year round. Give her a call. She's an event designer. We got throne chairs. She customized T-shirts. She got a boutique, as a matter of fact, where we hold the called and chosen experiences in the same boutique, as well as their other vendors that are there. She is a travel agent, and there's a difference between a travel agent and a travel agency. Okay, so the travel agency means she big time, but and she's also a life coach. And trust me, if you want to know anything about life, she is that one that's gonna get you there. Um, on the flip side, and I pick with her. She's doctor, apostle, pastor, evangelist, pastor, and teacher. Um, Renisha Hinton, Richmond, and on mine, I'm brother Aaron. But I have Solomon's Porch. I do home improvement. We're working on a full bathroom remodel even right now, and some painting opportunities. But I have a saying now that I'm not the best at it, but I definitely will do my best at it. So also I do graphic design, flyers, logos, business cards, studio recording. A lot of people, very few people. Well, it's kind of mixed. Those that know me know that music is life for me, and I'm an audio engineer. Haven't done a lot, but that's changing. We got some projects that we're working on actually that'll be coming out later on in the year. Oh yeah, we didn't put that on there that you do spoken word. So uh, make sure I add that part. Also, I do book editing and publishing. I do photography. I'm a life coach as well, and so um, we're about wanting to build the community to be advanced in fulfilling everything that needs to be fulfilled in your life. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to inbox us or call if you have our number, and we will touch bases with you and try to do our best to be of a service to you. So let me adjust this mic because I feel like stooping down and everything. So, but again, welcome to Marriage According to Genesis. It's been a while since we've been on. I think maybe the well, it's still been a while. Okay. And today's topic is very interesting. It's going to be marriage according to Genesis. Do you like me? Do you like me? And that's a question, as I stated in a post, that we were in, when I was in elementary school, if we took a liking to an individual, we would write a little note and say, "Do you like me?" And we'll put the check boxes of yes, no, or maybe. So, it was very interesting that we would come to this space because of the simple fact that in a lot of cases, a lot of marriages are loving each other, but do you really like each other? And I believe that one of the successes of a progressive, prosperous marriage is you have to like each other. It doesn't mean that you're gonna like everything about a person because, hey, we have things that we don't particularly like about each other, but we make those adjustments to try to either improve them or, you kind of work your way through them. Well, we're coming from the space of where you don't like each other at all. Like you're living in a dorm room and y'all are on two different sides of the house. Um, we're going to talk about both sides of this thing from the natural perspective and also from the spiritual side. Because quite often I've seen it and see it all the time where, specifically in church, I've seen couples, boy, they're so in love with each other when they're like on a flyer. They're like, and it's all glamorized on a flyer, or it looks good on a platform. But then once the benediction is over, look, they can't stand each other. And I'm not saying that riding in separate cars mean that you don't like each other, but in this case, for the narrative, they don't like each other to the point where they go their separate ways. They don't communicate about what's going to be eaten. They don't. There's no. It's like, let's cut the switch on and do what we got to do to perform in front of these people, and then cut it off afterwards. Then you go home, and then he's on his side of the bed, or he's in his man cave, or he's in one room. She's on her side of the bed. She's in her she cave, or she's in another room. And we wanted to talk about that because it's essential that if you want a successful marriage, you gotta like each other. Okay. And so before we get into all her notes and everything, you know, what does like mean? I looked it up today, and like literally means to take pleasure in, to enjoy. Uh, I saw one, I spliced it together, to desire to inhabit. You know, and that was the one I loved because of the simple fact that um, when you desire to inhabit a space with someone, that's where your growth is. That's where the quality time really moves. I want to put this out there on the natural side. A lot of marriages we've discovered um, are based off of preferences. But this is something that I thought about earlier today. What do you do when your preference die out?
That's why you gotta like your person. If they didn't have nothing, if the booty goes flat, if it don't work,
If
like
you say if the booty goes flat, what? If
if that's a preference and then it ain't there no more, now they don't like their person. So you cannot like your person because of how they look, the money they got, where they live, where they drive. Because anything can happen in life. So if you're liking a person with a motive and only because of specifics, life change. So yes, you know some men get women because they have big booty.
yeah, I mean, and their preferences. You know, you was a A cup that set up Perky, and then after 4 or 5 years of him hanging around, now they're a G cup at the knees, and you lose interest because of the preference. But one thing that and we really minister this, not just through word, but in life. And please let me get this. We're not coming for anybody's marriage. Hey, what works for yours works for yours. We're just giving you what the Lord has really helped us in, and then what we've learned how to manage with each other. Because here, the real deal is there are moments where you ain't gonna like each other, but it shouldn't be that bad to the point where it becomes hate. It becomes a space to where you just despise. Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. Because there's a scripture that just hit my ear we're going to talk about. So I'm going to give her a few. Mary, go ahead and start this thing out and let's jump start. Go ahead, man. What you got?
I just want to give a little disclaimer
Yeah, go ahead and get that disclaimer.
that this is for self-examination, not self-ammunition. So do not take these points home and use them as evidence against your spouse. It's more of for you to hear tonight, and it's not about figuring out what's wrong with your spouse, but about getting in a space where you can ask God to show you how can you be a better spouse. Because a lot of times we have to lead by example. We can point out what's wrong all day long, but can you be that example to show what's right?
Wow. That in and of itself um, is very good. And I say that because of the simple fact that a lot of times we'll take somebody else's experiences, excuse me, and then turn around and beat up your person with it. Well, Dr. Renisha said,
You're doing that tonight.
yeah, because listen, let me tell you this. What may work for us may not work for you. There's no point. I was telling my big brother, big sister of mine on this weekend. It's crazy because you have to know how to distribute wisdom that fits your situation. So if I know, it'll be crazy for me to go up to somebody and say, "Hey, man, if you really want to set your wife off, take her on a hike."
Everybody don't like it.
Outside, bro,
Make a real
it's
man.
an argument.
You know I'm allergic to grass.
You know, so you have to take these nuggets and make them applicable in a way that it fits your situation. But then on the flip side, don't beat the individual up because they're not there yet. Because guess what? At the end of the day, you ain't there either.
We all have something that we can work on or become better at. So don't be on that couch. Something. I hope you listening.
Especially the women, because the women will be real quick to be to myself. Oh, you heard what he said? You heard how he said that? Huh? You heard it? Well, are you listening to it? Because if you're not careful, you can be the reason why they respond the way that they respond. You can be the reason why they have the negative. Uh-oh, let's get in trouble a little bit. You can be the reason why they don't like you.
I got that in the notes over here.
So let's go to your notes. What you got? Where you want to go?
It ain't that far, but I do have a couple pieces.
Okay.
So just a couple statements. One of them, covenant keeps you committed, but friendship helps make the covenant enjoyable.
Wait. Say that slow now. You can't rush through this real fast now. You got.
Covenant keeps you committed.
Okay, so you got to break that down.
When you're in a covenant, the goal plan is to stay committed. But just because you commit to something doesn't mean that you like it. Like we can be committed to a job. So therefore, it needs to be some joy. So covenant keeps you committed, but friendship helps make the covenant enjoyable. So love says, I'm committed to you. But like say, I enjoy you. So one of hubby's statements, one of his, matter of fact, not right before the night, that was today, right? Yeah, he called me. I'm on the other side of the house, y'all. That's how crazy he is. He called, he said, I really enjoy doing this with you. So it's not about just being committed to the assignment and fulfilling the will of God, but like really enjoying it, finding the joy in it. So that's that. And then covenant may be the reason you refuse to leave, but friendship should be one of the reasons that you still enjoy staying.
That was good. No, I'm serious. Because you know what? Why be in bondage in a marriage for love?
Or for kids.
No, you're right. Because watch this. We'll get in trouble for saying this, and that's what I like to do. I like to get in trouble, challenge your theology, so you can tell me that I'm a false teacher, false prophet, and all this stuff until you hear somewhere else with somebody. Watch this. For somebody that you like, and then it's confirmation. but
being hard hit the first time.
I know, right? Confirmation is for those who are disobedient, because you already knew what was said. Okay, so let's stay focused. So watch this. The conflict that I'm gonna create in this space is God never said to get married because we love each other. If you go back to Genesis chapter 1, and you can go back and look at it, actually chapter 2, when, according to what we read, when the woman was presented, the woman wasn't presented to Adam because Adam loved her. Huh? What? Because of the simple fact that, huh? No, he didn't go pick her at all. He didn't go after preference. Fellas, listen, let me tell you something. Been there, done that. When you get entangled with preference, it produces a lot of problems. Now, I'm not telling you to just go out and grab anything. But what I will say is keep in mind what's the purpose of that which is presented to you. Because when Christ, according to what we read, presented the woman to the man, he had already established purpose. And watch this. Purpose will already have preference entangled in it. Huh? Let me tell y'all something. I see how she smiled at me. Yay. So check this out. When we got together, as quiet as it's kept, I wasn't her preference. And still there are aspects of me right now that she ain't gonna tell y'all that she like I don't know. It's not her preference. Watch this. She like big old bulky healthy, like big robust.
You can't get in that business.
You know what I'm saying? She like muscular men's.
Protein shake.
Uh-huh. See?
That's called communication.
but watch this. But watch this. I didn't allow a preference that she preferred of me to be the deterring factor of me getting upset, mad, and all that stuff. But watch this. And I'm in agreement because the purpose of that, watch this, her preference moved purpose for me to be healthy. Are y'all seeing how this connects? Her preference of me being a little bigger also has purpose tied into it. Now, you have to be careful though, because women and men will manipulate preference and wrap it around purpose just for a temporary fix. Because can you still like your person and love your person? But we talking about like today. Can you still like your person if the preference that you prefer don't ever show up? If I don't ever get bigger than this, she gonna still like that. She ain't got no choice.
Whatever. Only because God said something.
Oh, see, y'all see how she tried to slick throw me under the bus again? So the thing is that the Lord, yes, and I'm not saying that love is not involved. What I'm saying is that the whole point of our covenant relationship was not originally established because of love alone. Because at the end of the day, you can love a person one moment, and in the same moment they say or do something, now you hate them. Now you ready to jump ship. Now you ready, I'm done with it. I don't want this no more. So you have to be very careful about what you get into. And then the other thing is what we be calling what God called together, whom God joined together, let no man put asunder. Well, when you say that, that means that you can't put it asunder either. Man. Woman. Huh? Now we'll talk about that part of the divorce and all that stuff at another time. But right now we're focusing on the like factor. And watch this. How do you know that Adam liked what was presented? Because it was a reflection of who he was. He didn't complain about it. You didn't hear him say, God, I really appreciate this species, but her head too big. Her feet wrinkled. So he accepted what God had presented to him as the gift, as the present, as the presentation. Right? And when he did that, that's what opened up a gateway of covenant relationship to the point where now, when the fall takes place, watch this. Man, this is good. When the fall took place, watch this. They didn't fight each other and say, I don't like you. He didn't say, Eve, I'm going to call you Eve now because you're the mother of everything living in the earth, but I don't like you no more because look at what you did. Both of them took the hit, got kicked out. And she never left him. He never left her. That speaks volumes to me. That speaks a lot of volumes. And so that lets you know that yes, it can be done, but you have to be in the alignment with the purpose and the original intent of Christ for it to be what it needs to be. What you got?
And you actually have to be intentional about even liking a person. Because a lot of times we be intentional about loving the person, keeping the vows, staying committed, staying faithful, but are you being intentional about liking that person? Are you doing the same things that you were doing before? And not only that, but are you increasing it? So a couple more nuggets. Some marriages don't need to fall back in love. They need to fall back in like. What put you in a place to like the person originally? What drew you to them? Because it definitely wasn't love in the beginning. It was like. But a lot of times we fall off away from like because life happens. So some marriages, like I said, don't need to fall back in love or fall back to like because somehow life responsibilities happens and the friendship get neglected. So the time that you're used to spending together, the way that you used to intentionally plan the dates. Just because life happens does not mean that you neglect that area of your life. Marriage was never intended to only be endured. God gave you someone to do life with, not simply someone to just stay married to. So covenant should contain companionship. According to Genesis 2 and 18 says, it's not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. Mind you, this is saying that I will make him someone that is comparable to him. That means that there is some things that they got in common. They're going to complement each other. There is a liking that, oh, we like this the same way. Let's be in this area. But a lot of times, like I said, we fall away from that.
And what scripture was that?
Genesis 2:18.
Hold on, let's go there for a second. Let's go there for a second. Let's see what they say so they can see. It says, and the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. He shouldn't be all one. So wait a minute. So could we say that when God did present the woman to him, he had to also keep in mind that it had to be someone like him so that he can like her? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's go here for a second. Now we cooking. Let me find this other scripture. I think it's chapter 1, verse. Let's see.
So mind you, to be in one was always the plan. We the one that make it difficult because we don't humble ourselves. We don't be intentional to keep the original intent of the plan.
Wow. And I'm gonna go back to this for a second and look at it in a different translation, because something that when we first started doing this that we brought up, that you talk about the pursuit. Okay. Genesis 1:26 said, and God said, let us make man in our image after our what? Likeness. That means the what I would say, what I want to use, the characteristics of. But my point in saying this is that to have likeness has to be something that you like, that you desire, that you take pleasure in. Okay? I guess. Yeah, that's it. So, for example, she loves and likes coconut. I don't. So whenever she walks up to me and says, "Hey, do you want something?" and it looks like it's got coconut in it, I'm gonna tell her no. And she gonna keep offering it and offering it and offering it, but at the end of the day, she knows that she can't entice me with coconut. Even when we went on the last trip that we went on the cruise, she tried to say, "Hey, you need to try this with it." And I was like, "Don't it got coconut in it?" You picked the cake.
It was on your way. And I told you it had coconut.
Yeah, you told me after I had to. She tried to set me up, y'all. But go ahead. What you say?
So sometimes couples become excellent at running the household, but terrible at enjoying each other. The bills can be paid, the children can be taken care of, the house can be maintained, responsibility handled, but friendship is missing. So don't become such good partners in responsibilities that you become strangers in relationship.
Ooh, that's good. That is good right there.
So sometimes life can get a little rough and it can be serious conversation after serious conversation, but sometimes somewhere along the way, just a laugh needs to be had. Take that time when you see that it's entirely too much tension. Life is going and going and going. Take that moment to say, you know what, let's just back from being so serious about everything and let's enjoy just the fact of being in the presence of each other. Let's enjoy like certain things that we used to talk about and laugh about. But those spaces, a lot of times we are not intentional in because it's all about let's get these bills paid, get these children taken care of. What we got to do, we got to do this, got to go there, got a full day tomorrow. But what are you planning with your friendship? When it comes to homeboys, homegirls, friends, guess what? We're making moments, making plans to enjoy each other. But are you doing the same thing in your relationship?
Oh, pause for right there for a second. It's a shame and a disgrace that you have more pleasure planning something with your homeboys and homegirls than you do with the one that you sleep with every day. And then you know what? I've seen and heard on several occasions where the fellas and even the women will make an excuse and say, "Well, we gotta work." Yeah, but you don't think about work when you want to go with your girls. Work is not an issue when you go hang out with your boys. And watch. Well, I mean, somebody we ain't got a lot of money like y'all got. Well, who said we had a whole lot of money? Praise the Lord. Keep prophesying.
There's so much free stuff out there.
And guess what? We've been saying it since day one. It's the intention. One thing I realized and I discovered in this momentum is watch this. When you are intentional and willing, it provokes God to make you able. Because watch this. He takes pleasure in us liking each other. And this is something that I've discovered too in just humanity as a whole. The more you build in a bond of liking each other, the less likely you will slip out to try to like somebody else. You won't be distracted by nobody else because you're too busy entangled with wanting to be with your person. You see what I'm saying? And so watch this. I found that scripture in the Amplified Classic Version when we first started this. It says, "Now the Lord God said, it is not good, sufficient, and satisfactory that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper suitable, adapted, watch this, complementary for him." Something that he liked. Now, it's going to go kind of off script, but stay in the vein. And I made mention of this when we did your baby shower. Why is it that in a baby shower, the woman is always praised because she's the one that's carrying and we do all this, we give all the gifts and all the money to the woman, and all we doing just sitting around just
Yeah, baby shower hater.
I'll put a t-shirt. Huh?
Oh.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take a space of hard labor and work from her. But at the same token, imagine if it was an equality to an extent where both are being expressed, because it is hard work in each facet of person. Because watch this. When y'all have y'all moments of emotions and stuff, watch this. We have to pray to keep liking you when you want pickles and peanut butter and we ain't got none, and it's 10:58 and Walmart closed at 11 o'clock. Because then we got to deal with the attitude.
If I want something different 5 times, I want it all.
See, and it goes on. So I think we should be able to share in the.
We do share the fruit basket with y'all. I think I gave you some candy, so I'm not worried about that.
And then she asked for it back, probably. So, so the thing is, my point in saying that is that, you know, we are responsible for creating spaces to keep us in a space of liking one another. And watch this. In my book that is still slowly being written, Marriage According to Genesis, there are 3 components and 3 parts to marriage. And that one in the middle is the companionship. In most marriages, and I have a Bluetooth on so I can hear. In most marriages, you have, well, let me go this route. You have the spousal, which identifies that you are married, right? Then you have companionship, and then you have partnership. Most marriages are very strong in spousal because they are, depending on the demographics, you know, they're excited, they're glad that they're married to. On the partnership side, that's where you're dealing with all of the things that pertain to the business workings of the household. Um, if you're an entrepreneur, your entrepreneurship, and you're making sure that the functionality of the household is where it is. Where we crash and burn at is in the middle, called companionship. You know why? You can't be a companion with somebody that you don't like. Well, everything I try to get her to do, she don't want to do. Well, woman of God, woman, there's sometimes you have to humble yourself and do some things to be intentional, even when you don't like to do them. Huh? For example, Renisha's an early bird. Renisha like to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, and you know, she want to go run the street like jogging, and she wants you to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and exercise and so on and so forth. Me, I'm the opposite. I'm a night owl. So usually when I'm up late at night, she rolled over sleep snoring.
Is that what you're supposed to be doing?
But usually when she's up in the morning, I'm rolled over sleep. And cause I exactly.
It's backwards.
I think that's balance. See, I watch at night. You watch in the day. But what we did was we learned how to manage those moments. You see what I'm saying? There are times, especially here lately, it's like I've been going to sleep even though it seemed late, but it's been early for me. And she'll jump up. She been took about an hour nap at 8 o'clock, and then come at 2 o'clock. She want to jump all over the place.
Whatever.
But my whole point in saying what I'm saying is that sometimes you have to give up your space to build that companionship. You don't know nothing about football. You don't know nothing about a studio recording. But sometimes it's not even about what you know. It's about just being in the presence of it. And that's what helps establishes a bond. That makes you want to be around somebody. Ask yourself, and then ask your person, do you really like being around me? And watch this. Let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out there. Don't get upset about the answer that they respond to. Because if they say no, then it don't mean get mad. It means, well, what do we need to do to adjust to make it better? Because you know how we are. Not us, but you know how our culture is. But you must be that. No wonder you ain't answering my phone calls. You must be out there with somebody, and you don't even know this joker on the other side of the house, miserable, wishing and hoping that you would come engage in some kind of conversation with him. But every time he comes to the room and try to talk to you, he don't like you because you gossiping. Well, y'all don't gossip because we saved. You talking to your homegirl.
And so you actually touched a piece of my next two good notes.
Okay.
Before you complain that your spouse isn't your friend anymore, examine whether you've been treating them like a friend.
Well, hold on now, because some would say we treat all our friends different.
But your spouse's friendship should be definitely different from your friend friendship.
Well, see, watch this. Let me give y'all a little nugget. We became friends and then became best friends before we became lovers and husband and wife. And watch this. Women, let me give y'all a little nugget. If a man cannot be safe in his vulnerability around you, no matter what the subject matter is, he don't like you.
It may not be that he don't like her. He just don't feel safe over her.
Well, guess what? Just air it. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. if 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 I can't be vulnerable around you, is a reason. That's why I don't like
It's levels to it.
you. Okay, well I'll accept the levels.
Because your walls was not always.
Oh, it sure wasn't.
Okay, it was
Yeah,
levels.
but watch this. I had to allow those levels to be healed and made whole so that I can trust liking you in a space where I was once guarded.
Which means that liking has to be intentional.
Exactly. Give me a reason to like you.
It's not only work to love. It's work to like.
Oh yeah,
It's
most
work
definitely.
to continue to enjoy each other.
Mhm.
So your spouse shouldn't have to watch everybody else experience the best version of you while they continue receiving what's left of you. Don't become with who your spouse was that you stop discovering who they're becoming. And that is so critical. So a lot of times we grow and sometimes we're not growing together. Are we having those intentional talks? Are we setting those intentional goals? Are we having these conversations on what do you think about where we are now? What is your desire of where you desire for us to be? Are we having the real conversations? Because a lot of times what happens is if you don't talk about it, then who's going to be about it? Because a lot of times we think that that our person should know everything about us. Sometimes we don't know everything about ourselves. Can
Oh,
we be honest?
look, you took the words out of my mouth. I'm about to say, well, first of all, you need to know about you.
Because we are always changing and evolving. Different seasons bring a different side of all of us. So are we staying up to date with our spouse?
So let me ask this question: could it be the reason why we don't like each other is because I don't like me?
Uh, Hurt people hurt people. So yeah, sometimes a person can where they can't be pleased because they're not pleased with themselves.
Woo!
They're operating insecurity issues because they're not secure with
And
themselves.
watch this, and then that's what creates the competition thing. That's what creates the fights. So, like for example, there's a joke that goes on whenever we go out. Everybody always flock to Renisha as the apostle, as the pastor, but I'm just brother Aaron, or I'm just the husband. And trust me, I'm not. I'm a behind the scene kind of person anyway, so that's why it's so hilarious and funny. And so, if I wasn't secure in me and was thirsty for the pat on the backs and the acknowledgments of people, it would create a fight. You see what I'm saying? Well, don't nobody want to hear what Aaron got to say. Hey, let me help you out. A lot of times, Aaron don't want to say it no way. So, you know what I'm saying? And so my whole point in saying that is that if you're not careful, you will allow something outside of your marriage, outside of your relationship, outside of your person to create a wedge that you don't like her no more because of the attention that she gets. Matter of fact, here's another one. When we went on a cruise to Alaska, right? It was her birthday cruise. She has on this big old glittery shirt that says it's my birthday. We're walking. Part of the DJ is well, the DJ stops everything that he's doing and points her out of 6,000 people on a boat. He points her out and makes everybody sing happy birthday to her. Now, if I wasn't secure in me, I'd be like, oh, you you must have did something with that man or something. And then not only that, it's an insider joke. The same DJ turned around and sent her some cookies. And why? Every time she ate some cookies, she would get to giggling and went to sleep. Whatever. So if I wasn't secure in who I am, for me, knowing that she is really a public figure, okay? Man, there would have been a straight argument the rest of the trip. It could have been that, you know? But I like picking with her because it'd be hilarious to me because we're both sorry we are for ourselves. And watch this. When I look at her, I see a reflection of me, and perfectly vice versa. You know, except I'm skinnier. But and that's what makes this thing so phenomenal to me because of the fact that I had to grow to like areas of me that through her learning how to like those spaces. Because let's just be honest, men and women, but let's talk to the men. There are some times where we can be, stubborn. Not many times, maybe once or twice a year, but
Just 99%.
you know, yeah, 99% of not being it.
Of
you know, It- but in those moments when you like a person, you don't like to see them out of pocket. So are you willing to jump in those trenches to help fix a situation so that they can maintain that likable space? And sometimes, let me go this route. Sometimes you got to let them have their space so that you can maintain liking them after they come back.
He's only hinting that at us spoiled people, but it's okay, y'all.
Yeah, spoiled rotten. And it's my fault. Okay? So the thing is that we're trying to give you some nuggets here and understanding that it's more to a marital relationship. It's more to a partnership and a relationship than just paying bills and working. Make time. Be intentional in making time. If it's nothing, listen. There are times where we'll just sit in a conversation. I call it a business meeting. We have involuntary business meetings about everything. Babe, what's your calendar like for this? What's your calendar like for that? Or a conversation sparked up. Watch this. Whether you're interested in it or not, engage in it because you may learn something else about you. Watch this, and your person that you may not have known. You see what I'm saying?
So if you are in that space and you're saying, you know what, I'm realizing that I love my spouse or I love my person, but the joy is gone. A couple questions that you can ask yourself. What happened between us that changed the way I experience my spouse? Am I being likable to my spouse? Do I listen? Do I apologize? Am I that one that's always criticizing everything? Do I show appreciation? And that's a big one. Sometimes we can get so comfortable with our person, the things that we be grateful for, say thank you for. It's no more of that because we feel like you're supposed to do that anyway. But one thing that I have learned about men, a lot of men like affirmations. They like to be told that they are appreciated. They like to know that you noticing the things that they are doing to be a better person or the extra mile that they're going to please you even the more. So appreciation is a big one. Do I make home emotionally peaceful?
Mm,
Do your person love being at home?
mm.
Or do you have a person that leave the house every chance they get? Or are you that person that try to stay away from home every chance you get? Evaluate it. Shift the atmosphere. Change that. Change from don't like and tap back into like. Creating that space. Recreating those spaces that y'all did used to like and enjoy together. Because the further you get away from it, the longer it's going to take to get back to it. So if you're that person, just take that moment, re-examine yourself, re-examine the situation, re-examine what changed, and then put some things to place where, okay, I can be better in these areas. And it don't necessarily make you a bad person. It's just called self-examination. Let me allow myself to intentionally grow in this relationship so that time don't just be passing by. Because time fly by so fast. And before you know it, you'll be together 5 and 10 years and haven't accomplished anything together because nothing was intentionally done.
Wow.
Do you still flirt with your person? Now you know in the beginning what they call it being on cloud 9. Now you know how you used to feel in the beginning. What changed that? Are you addressing things at the initial shifts versus just letting it flow, assuming that the other person should know? We all have a part to do here. Do you make your spouse feel valued? So one thing that I want you to ask is what is one thing you genuinely like about your spouse that have absolutely nothing to do with what they do for you? What's one thing you like about me, not including what I do?
One thing I like about you, not including what you do,
Mm-hmm.
so much, honey. So many
I'm
things.
listening, baby. We got time.
So many things that I like about you. Okay, rephrase it.
The question is, what is one thing you genuinely like about your spouse that has absolutely nothing to do with what they do for you. I go first. I
Okay.
like the way you hold me, the way we cuddle.
Okay.
I like just the conversations that we have pointing to each other.
I got you. Oh,
I like the way that you just do just simple things, just not anything specific, but the foundation is making my load light without anything being specific because every day is different.
right.
So just you genuinely being you.
And that will be my answer, but I'm trying to be more specific so that it is not my answer. Um,
You should have went
I love our conversation. I love our there it is, the spontaneity, our spontaneous movement. I love when you just say, "Hey, let's do this." Um, your company because it's peaceful. Watch this. This is not for the camera. It's just the truth. When we first got together, it was iffy. I couldn't say that even in a space where there's tension, I'm still at peace. I had to learn how to manage that because through previous relationships, I could never find peace when there was tension. I would, like you mentioned, I had to leave and go, and it's just the truth. So, churchgoers, y'all, some of you understand this. Sometimes, in order for me to maintain peace within myself and not crack out of it, I would have to go to the church and clean church. And I knew the church would take 4 hours. But once when everything gelled the way that it did, it's like, yeah, I don't like the tense moment, but I can still be at peace within that tense moment without having to think, well, you know what? Forget you. I'm gonna go on and go do whatever I want to do. I'd rather stay at home and stay within the tension and the fight to fix it than to run away from it and come back and it's still broken. So that's a big deal for me. Like I said, the spontaneous momentum. Um, Now this is on a spiritual, but the connectivity. I like and love the fact that we can be thinking the same thing at the same time. Literally, we'll send each other the same text message at the same exact time, and it'll hit our phones at the same exact time, and we wouldn't talk to each other for 3 or 4 hours. And again, some people say, well, y'all just doing that now because y'all newlyweds and all that. No, no. And so I have a saying that when people ask how I'm doing, I say I stay in my lane and out the way. I come out when I have to and need to, but I stay at home because I want to. And that's the truth. She'll tell you. Sometimes she'll be like, babe, you want. But I will. And then she'll be like, well, no, I don't want. No, it's not that you're disturbing me, but I just love being at home. I love coming home to my family. No matter what's going on, what's cracking out or whatever. I just love being at home with my family. You know. So I think that answers
Thanks, man. So prayerfully, y'all have gathered y'all answers in your head, and it also helps you understand like why are you really with your person? Like, are you with them because of those tangible things, or are you with them because of those internal things that can't be ripped away? So when we talk about love versus like, an example is I love my spouse, but right now I don't like being around them. Love can remain while enjoyment has been damaged by disappointment, unresolved conflict, stress, or repeated behaviors. Love speaks to commitment. Liking often speaks to how you currently experience the person. So, are you allowing the space of you may not be liking them in that moment take over the whole original intent? How are you handling your person when you don't like them in that moment? Are you still showing love? Are you still sowing into them, pouring into them, and not draining them or hurting them? So some advice is don't ignore the reason you stopped liking each other. Ask, what changed between us? Instead of immediately saying, we must not be meant for each other no more. You must like us. You must don't want to be together no more.
But
Language is everything.
but you know what though, and this is the honest to God truth. In our culture, go to we always revert back to trauma as an excuse rather than taking responsibility to have a conversation. Because sometimes it's not trauma. Sometimes it's just we're in a season or in an hour where we're being fine tuned.
Our immaturity.
Oh, ooh, don't talk about the immaturity now and the petty. Cause we both is man. Listen, when I tell you petty as petty can be, and so watch this. The maturity says, in a moment that I dislike you, I can't use pettiness as a weapon against you, because all that's gonna do is cause a bigger fight, a bigger argument. And next thing you know, watch this. The stuff that you said that you got over and you're done with in my past or that I did, now all of a sudden you're spilling it all out on me again.
And that tears up the safe space.
Yeah.
Rips it apart. When a person has recovered from a certain space and then in a heated moment, you throwing all this coal in this fire versus trying to put the water out.
Mm.
And so that's what pettiness does a lot of times. It makes the fire hotter. So do you want this fire to go through the roof and burn the house down? Or are you willing to be that one to say, you know what, I'm gonna put this fire out. I wasn't wrong, but I'm still choosing to put this fire out. Because it's not always about who's right. But that note is down the road saying nothing.
But you are well, because at the end of the day, that's another argument that we in our culture do. We don't like each other because watch this, and this is unpopular wisdom. We don't like it as a culture because we have been systematically programmed with a space that says the man is right here and the woman is right here, and she's got to always submit to. No, there are times where the man, you need to humble yourself and submit to what she's saying too, when it's wisdom. Sometimes you need to be quiet and y'all catch this, let them hang freely so that you can breathe and listen to what she's saying and hearing the wisdom. It doesn't mean that you henpeck, which is ain't nothing wrong with that. It don't mean that you are less than a man. It don't mean that it doesn't take away and strip you of your manhood because you want peace with each other. Watch this. If you go back to the original intent of Christ, they were equal anyway. Well, after the fall, he said the man should be over the head of the household. He didn't say that he had to dominate and be domineering over. There are times where we have to be restored by the chaste conversation of the woman.
And then I just got a revelation on help. Like, how can I come and help meet you if I'm not meeting you?
Woo!
For the ones that have struggle issues, power issues, authority issues.
And then to add on to that help me, your help me in definition literally means to keep him in the presence of God. So if you can't help him meet the presence of God, then how you think you're gonna meet in the middle to make him like you? And then, let me help y'all out on this part too. Never get in a place where you trying to do stuff to make somebody like you.
Manipulation. Nothing wrong with witchcraft. We ain't going there.
Because at the end of the day, they are grown enough to make their own choice. They are grown enough to make their own choice in their decision. I've learned something in our relationship that I've not seen. We talk about it, but to see it demonstrated is different. Consistency is key. Let me tell you something. There were times where we was in a disagreement, and I made a statement. We went on that hike when the dog was coming at you, and I had told you, I said, you might kick me to the curb, but at least you come sit down there on the curb and talk to me. You know why? You can't do that with somebody you don't like.
Bye. They out there act foolish. I ain't saying.
Matter of fact, if you ain't careful while he's sitting on the curb, you done went out the back door and done left the house, and you over there, and you done away with it. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that at the end of the day, listen, working at liking each other, a lot of times you're gonna have to allow your walls to come down and not be so stubborn at it being your way all the time.
And then let me tell you something about those walls, like not fully being able to open up to your person. A lot of time that blocks the affection because you won't allow the walls down. But see, the thing about walls is not only do they keep something from going out, it also keeps something from coming in. So it's critical that you allow those walls to fall down because why be in something if you're not gonna put your all into it in the first time? In the first place, it's called wasting time. So if you say that you want something and you got yourself in position to receive it, then allow it to do what it do and get you out the way for allowing God to have His way.
But the key word, like you always say, you've been saying it, you have to be intentional. Now we're adding on, you have to also be willing.
Definitely.
Because you can be intentional and not willing and still end up with a bad result. Because what do you do when your intention there, but you're not willing to submit? You're not willing to be submissive. You're not willing to humble yourself. But yet you want the intended results, but you're not willing. And one thing I have learned, and I'm still learning this, when you're not willing, it pushes you to being disobedient. And disobedience causes you not to be liked.
Definitely. So, love requires action. It's just not for the word. Action has to come with it. You have to be patient, forgiving, truthful, and then growing. It takes intentionally growth. Just growing regular is not enough nowadays. It's just like if he say that he wants to just eat to grow, you still, but it's better if you intentionally eat to grow, eating those healthy things, doing our protein shakes, doing what it takes to intentionally get to that space. Because nowadays, doing stuff regularly, it don't work. It don't get you nowhere. It really takes that extra push. So friendship and marriage. A couple pays bills together, raise kids together, sleep in the same bed, and handles responsibilities. But they don't laugh no more. They don't talk no more. They don't play. They don't share dreams anymore. What's the purpose? You pay bills by yourself. You raise kids by yourself. Like, I mean, we're gonna be together. We need to be together, right? I'm just saying.
And watch this. I had to learn how to balance leaving church at church. It's a sea level moment.
Whatever.
Huh? Come on. Leaving job at job. Because those factors can infiltrate and it also can infect your ability to like. How you know Richmond been there, done that? Listen, church baby, I love talking about church, church, church. And it's like, do you know anything? Oh no, I know church. I could because that's how I was raised. But I found out that there's more to life than just church. And watch this. Y'all ain't gonna understand. Well, I hope you understand this and let the Spirit of the Lord help you with it. Some of your spouses don't like each other because you church too much.
And for example, when I was dating, it was this guy who was an elder, and he believed that a woman should be covered from her head to her feet in all white. I tell you, you ain't about to hit me upside no head with no Bible. And I love God. I talk about God in whatever situation. Matter of fact, almost in every conversation, it's just want to naturally happen.
Right.
But it's not to beat nobody upside the head or think you're supposed to be a certain way because of preference in creating a look of being holy, and then don't necessarily be holy in the first place. So it's like,
I know, right?
baby, I need you to be balanced.
And watch this. And that's where a lot of the conflict is in liking each other. Because there is no balance.
It's just like making love. Who gonna make love to a gospel song? You,
We gon'
I'm gonna get sent to hell because
take me to the water
Shut up.
to
I'm
be
play with you today.
baptized.
I'm not.
None but the rock. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it need balance.
But again, to each his own. Again, we're not coming for nobody, but we just let you know that there has to be balance in order for you to like each other. And watch this. One of the most shocking things, because there are a lot of things, was when she discovered, watch this, that I like being outside just as much as she did. Matter of fact, I kind of almost surpassed her being outside.
Yeah, you're a little extra crazy. I have my limitations. They are high limitations, but yours.
But the point was that we were already at that space before we said I do. And here's my point in saying that. We didn't stop because we said I do. We didn't stop because she took my virginity and now we got a 4-month-old.
It's been a whole year y'all in the baby and he still won't tell the truth.
Okay? We didn't stop because of bills and all that stuff. If anything, it brought us closer together. Because watch this. When you don't have anything else or anybody else, you should be able to have the one that you call spouse, lover, friend. If I can't listen, let me tell you, this is the honest God truth. If I can't talk to nobody else and get a good laugh, listen, because of how our relationship is established, I don't have to necessarily call her to find something about her to laugh and crack up. And watch this. That laugh and crack up about it makes me like her even more. It makes me want to be at the house. Now, does it mean that you don't have spaces where you may need a couple seconds? Yeah, but watch this. It's at a point now to where, like, for example, I had to go to a big brother friend of mine's house in Macon, Georgia for a week. I struggle. Listen, I struggle because I like being around my wife. And watch this. I wasn't in no hostile. Big bro, I ain't gonna say his name. He made sure that I was very well taken care of. Matter of fact, I've been there a couple times out there. Got to go back there again in a couple weeks. And we have great conversation. He's married. That we have a wonderful time. But guess what? Being away from home and away from my wife, it's a struggle. You know? And so then on the flip side, because she's spoiled rotten, if I don't call, I would be in the shower and the first night I thought I would call her back. And after I took my shower, me and Big Bro had started talking, and hour had got, kind of went like a couple hours. And by the time I got settled, I knew she was asleep. I text. She didn't respond, so I didn't bother her. Baby, when I tell you about an hour after that, oh, so you gonna go all down there and you ain't gonna call and say good night or nothing? Hey, listen. Look, fall asleep snoring on the phone just to tell me I heard everything that you said. But because we have developed that, and it was developed before we said I do. If I have another saying, been saying it for years. If I don't like you, I'm definitely not going to trust you. If I don't trust you, probably not going to be around you much. No disrespect. I'm not going to act spooky and act like you got a disease or anything. But my spacing is very, very strategic and limited. So at the end of the day, again, you have to work at wanting to be around each other. Never allow your career to become your best friend when you say you're married. If that happens, there's a bigger problem. Never allow, oh, let's get in trouble right here. Never allow church ministry to become your best friend. Don't. Because them same church folk that love you today is them same church folk that's going to crucify you today. And guess where you got to go? Back home. And the worst place you can be in your mental space, your spiritual space, and your emotions is get rejected by the church that you shepherd and then come home and be rejected by the wife that you say you love. That's why a lot of pre-K kids is upset and mad and rejecting, quote, church now. Some of them rejecting God because of how they saw the effects of the companionship. And one thing for sure, we make space to show how much we like each other. Matter of fact, our children can't stand it sometimes the way we show.
It be him, yeah. The same one that's the reason for the baby. It be him. Tell that true, shame devil. Whatever. And then he be trying to slick talk, and the kids still be like, "Yeah, you be trying to put on their head
No.
anyway."
No.
So when you have all those responsibilities and you're not taking the time to laugh, talk, spend time together, it's pretty much put you in a space where you have became a business partner in a household instead of friend in a marriage. So some advice is your spouse shouldn't only hear from you when you need something done. Sometimes ask silly questions, send funny texts, date, sit in the car and talk, take trip, learn what your spouse enjoys now because, like I say, change is always taking place. Marriage needs friendship because friendship gives you something to enjoy between the responsibilities. So if you ever been in a space where um, you may not have nothing extra left because you bills, something crazy popped up, something happened to the car, you got to do this, you got to do that, but you still desire that time with your person. You don't have to neglect that space just because you don't have anything. It don't matter. You got to go down there and walk at Lake Bottom around Flat Rock, River Walk. Heck, create a tent in the backyard. Play a game. Like it's so much to do, but yet because it's not the fine dining, it's not the big vacations. Oh, we ain't got no money, so that means we can't spend quality time. False. So you have to create that space. Communication. Communication is important. A lot of times it's not about what you say, it's about how you see it. So sometimes when we're in those petty moments, not us, but speaking in general, when you can be in a petty moment, you say something slick when you really could have said it another way. So if you said something slick and the other person ain't in a good mood, either guess what, y'all got a whole fire that really all you want to do was express yourself and shift the situation.
Right.
So words is everything. Example, a wife can say, "You never spend time with me." All the husband here is, "You saying I'm a terrible husband?" But really, in reality, she's saying, "I miss you and I want to feel important to you again." Or he can say, "You're always being irritated." All she hears is criticism when he may really just be saying, "I miss feeling like you're happy to see me. I miss feeling like you're happy to be around me." So instead of saying those smart comments, just really say what you mean. Like, say for instance, if y'all haven't talked all day, you be like, "Dang, you ain't missing me." You can easily say, "Hey, babe, I'm thinking about you." Change the whole, just shift everything. So the way you say stuff is important. So the advice is stop making your spouse decode your emotions.
Mm.
Say what's underneath the complaint versus creating a fire. So instead of saying you never, try things like, "I've been feeling disconnected from you and I miss you. What can we do about it together?" So when another thing is when resentment hits the marriage, it shifts a lot.
Hold on one second, because it's crazy. Now, mind y'all, we just come up with the subject, and I don't know what she's gonna say. I'm just going to wait. Watch with this script based off of what you just said. Go back up before
Um, about decoding your emotions.
keep going back. What about what she hears?
Okay, so the example, if a wife say you never spend time with me,
Uh-huh.
the husband hear, oh, I'm a terrible husband.
Okay. Watch this. Proverbs 30. And I'm going to use one second. Proverbs 30. I'm going to do two different versions of this. This is the King James version. Watch this. For three things the earth is disquieted, and for four which it cannot bear. Okay?
Okay.
Watch this. For a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat. We ain't talking about that right now. Talking about verse 23. For an odious woman when she is married. One more time. The earth realm cannot stand when an odious woman when she is married. Let me read the amplified version of this, and and I'm gonna explain to you what odious means. Under three things the earth is disquieted, and under four it cannot bear up. Verse 22, under a servant when he reigns, an empty-headed fool when he is filled with food. Here it is, watch this. An unloved and repugnant woman when she is married, and a maid servant when she supplants her mistress. But we're going to deal with the odious woman. A lot of y'all ain't never heard of what an odious woman means. Odious literally means to detest, cannot stand, to hate. A woman can get to a place to the point where you nag all the time. You're never satisfied with anything. So going back to what you're saying, when you say certain things in communication, we might compute it because of how you distribute it. And now you become a detest person that every time you turn around, no matter what I do, that's why I don't want to be around her. That's why I'm always catching on and extra late. And then watch this. A lie and say, well, we got mandatory overtime. You know why it's mandatory? Because he made it mandatory that he stay overtime because he can't stand you right now. Because you're always complaining. There's another scripture that talks about it is better, and paraphrasing, it's better for a man to live and dwell in the corner of a rooftop than to be in a house with a contentious woman. In other words, it's better for a man to be on the roof in the elements, in the heat, in the storm, in the rain, in the typhoon, the hurricane, than to be in a house with a woman that he can't stand. Because she's always, nya, 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 nya. Well, I hear it. Well, what about the man? I hear you. You know, y'all have y'all moments too. It goes both ways. We made this establishment day one. Listen, ain't no way I'm going to sit here and say we're in a relationship and I can't stand you. We might as well just stay friends. And that way, watch this. When I don't want to be bothered with you, I ain't got to answer your text. I ain't got to answer your call, and I ain't got to come to your house. Huh? Because we refuse to be a public success and a private failure. In public we liking each other. We kissing each other in the mouth and holding hands, and we got this look happy. But then after everybody ain't looking, we're a private failure because there's turmoil going on. We can't stand each other. We don't like each other. We don't communicate. Being left to feel like I'm made to go on a cruise or made to go hike for a narrative. Baby, let me tell you something. Life is too much going on to be out here forming narratives to accommodate people that's going to run their mouth about you anyway. They're going to talk anyway. Listen, if we really gave y'all the scoop on a lot of the kickback and the feedback that we hear at times when we're counseling other couples because of a perception that you come up in your own mind. And I can share this. For example, Y'all always traveling everywhere. You know why? Because we're intentional about doing that. Watch this. Because we create space willingly and intentionally so that we can continue to like and love each other. We need that space because when we get back, she's pushing to do what she does and her entrepreneurship with hair and taxes and being a mom and being a wife and being a woman of God, blah, 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 blah. And on the other side, I'm trying to push to do what I need to do to make sure that there's balance and equality. Listen, we need that break to go and share with each other away from the kids. All 378 of them. Because at the end of the day, you're hearing this from a man. At the end of the day, I already got to fight out there in the street. I already got to fight at church. I already got to fight within myself. You think I'm going to be married to somebody and got to come home and fight too? You crazy. And that's the side of this thing that we really don't talk about. And we sweep it under the rug of, well, we're just going to pray about it. No, we need to come. No. What would you think? We need to have conversations that's going to bring wholeness to both sides so that marriages can like each other for real. I promise you, when you like each other, the love for each other will go off the charts. And there's nothing that goes on. I had a leader that I was under. He used to say this to me all the time. He used to say, man, listen, when you make the woman the queen of the house, even if you living in a cardboard box, as long as she's queen, she gonna love you in that cardboard box. And that's the truth. But I refuse, this is Aaron, I refuse to look good on the flyer and be miserable in real life. It ain't gonna happen. We gonna figure it out.
So when you speak about figuring it out, when you come across those situations where you know that it's not a normal emotion, it's not a normal thought process, you have to examine and say, what's going on? Why am I feeling like this? And what can I do, can do to make the situation better? So resentment is one of those things that's actually creep in. You don't go out there and grab resentment. Oh, I want to resent you. I'm about to sign up for resentment. I want to resent you today. I want to resent you for the rest of my life. It's not one of those things that we go out there and grab, but it comes up. So when resentment comes up, what do you do to make sure that it leaves marriage? So when resentment changes how you see your spouse, for example, your spouse forgets to take out the trash. So normally is, oh, they just forgot. But after months of resentment, see, they don't care nothing about what I asked them to do. Now, one forgotten trash bag becomes evidence for an entire case against their character. That's what resentment does. Everything begins to look crazy to you. Everything gets a problem, and it goes both ways. So it's not just women that talk about. I mean, it's not just men that always talk about you nagging or you ain't ever pleased with anything. You ungrateful. Women be in the same position just as a man can. It goes both ways. So advice is resentment creates a filter. Eventually, you stop seeing what your spouse does right because you're constantly looking for confirmation of what they do wrong. And it happens on both ends. So a woman can sit there and complain about the husband not taking out trash, but then the man can turn around and complain about the woman not cooking. When her day been messed out, she tired, body hurt, ain't got no strength but just going there, get in the shower, get in the bed. But that's the problem because I skipped the day of cooking.
That is good.
But teamwork says, if I see that you can't do it, let me hop in. Like me, I ain't taking out no trash. But what I can do, if hubby been busy and the day just long, I don't mind lifting the trash bag out of the trash can, putting it beside the trash can. So I can put another bag in there and then that can get and rotate. Versus just sitting there, let it fall out, touch the floor, drip out. Who got time for that? Like, do what it takes sometimes to make the dream work. And not saying that those things happen all the time, but the one or two times that something happened, even though it's not something that you normally do, hop in there.
Because at the end of the day, it's about accomplishing the end goal. It's about accomplishing the end goal to fulfill, whatever is needing to be done in that moment. And my thing is that if we would get to a place mentalities are really in one to see the end goal, then we wouldn't argue so much over the petty dumb stuff. See what I'm saying? Just like somewhat today. Hey, babe, what we eating today? I don't know. We got food there. Okay. I say, I'm kind of craving some hot dog. Oh, you gonna make some hot dog? I could have been, easy. Well, I'm the man. I've been tearing out a bathroom all day, and discredit the fact that she been doing hair all day. But I was already here. So guess what? It didn't take nothing to throw some hot dogs in a pot with some water on and some chili, and be done with it. You know. So it comes with that. Well, pause for a second. That was something else I wanted to pull to big sister of mine named Kim Cash. She one of her comments, she talked about equally yoked. Listen, equally yoked has very little to do with the church that you go to, because you can go to the same church and still not be equally yoked. What does that got to do with like?
Pray together, fast together, still not be equally yoked. Jesus, help us, Lord.
Y'all can do all the external things together and still not be equally yoked and still hate each other. You know why? Because nobody's focused on purpose. We're just doing what we're doing a practice. And in that practice, watch this. You can practice, man, this is good. You can practice learning how not to like each other. Even in prayer. You pray too much. So now when it's time to pray, now I'm like, because she finna go through all 42 generations. And she gonna speak that gibberish stuff. And I can calculate how long we're gonna be here. You supposed to just say grace, and we done prayed 2.5 hours, and you still ain't said grace yet. Now I don't like you because of that. But we equally yoked because we can pray. But now that becomes a fight because of preference, because of the lack of communication. Now you're resenting that you even married somebody that's an intercessor. I don't like the fact that you pray and God be telling you about me all the time. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, in saying that is that equally yoked does not always have everything to do with your mannerisms that are compatible or that are alike. Because there are some times where, hey, let me just go this route. If we're not led to do it, we're not doing it. And unfortunately, we're not concerned about how other people outside of us feel about it. That's not arrogance. That's not pride. That's just how we live. And guess what? The Lord still continues to bless. I'm gonna say this right here, and then get you back over here because it hit my ear again. Watch this. We talk about all the things that is sin. I've come to realize today that it's also a sin not to like the person that you said the Lord put you together with. It's a sin to be with somebody that you can't enjoy. And the only time you want to talk about joy is after you hug and book after a Sunday service. Baby, sometimes you got to turn off the church service and go walk to the Riverwalk. Sometimes, hey, listen, I'm going to get in trouble, and it's okay. I love it. Sometimes you need to cut off the church service and just lay in the bed and hold each other. Feel each other. And it doesn't mean that it has to be sexually, a penetration. Sometimes she'll say, babe, are you done with that design? I just need you to hold me. Guess what? Their mamas, I'll be like, you know what? Forget this design. Let me get in here and hold you, girl. Because at the end of the day, it's not always about, let me go this route. Liking your person oftentimes creates moments of being inconvenienced. Huh? But in those inconvenienced times, you learn how to enjoy being inconvenienced because you like it. Because you want that person to be happy. Now, There's a saying that says, happy wife, happy life. I believe that is a lie. Because I know, been there, done that, and I know some men, even to this day, that they do everything they can to keep their happy. But they don't like their wife for real. They pacify what they do to keep peace while they still at war. And it's because it's a lack of communication. It's a lack of understanding, right? So when it comes to the resenting and the communication thing and liking, you have to get a handle on that. And watch this. The way you get a handle on it is between you two. Keep everybody and everything outside of you two, outside of you two.
Especially if you ain't instructed to do so.
Woo! Yes. Well,
A lot of times people act like they're for you, don't be for you. A lot of times you're going through warfare because somebody that you don't even know about is against you. So it's very critical who you allow to be part of your safe space. DNA does not make it safe space. Leaders of a church does not make it safe space. A friend for 20 years doesn't automatically make it a safe space. So you have to be critical who you allow into your safe space. So when it comes to resentment, forgiveness is very critical. So forgiveness doesn't mean that pretending something didn't hurt. It means dealing with the wound so that the wound does not become the lens through which you see your partner.
That's good.
So a lot of times we're saying that we have forgotten, but yet the case is still open. When you trying to move forward, but it's still an issue, you keep on bringing it up. Or even if you're not bringing it up, it's changing how you move, how you respond. You stop doing stuff that you normally do. You stop cooking. You stop washing the dishes. You stop fixing the plate. You stop calling and checking on them. So are we truly operating in forgiveness, or are we limiting our forgiveness? And forgiveness is one of those things that have to be operated whole, or it's not there. So Ephesians 4:26 through 27 it warns against allowing anger to remain and create an opportunity for the enemy. So another thing that comes in between you liking your person is sometimes the attraction and connection is not there. So when that attraction and connection have left, what left to cause that to even be a topic? So sometimes I don't feel attracted to my spouse like I used to because of what? Assuming that the attraction is permanently gone, ask what else disappeared. Did the affection disappear? Did the compliments disappear? Did the emotional safety disappear? Did the laughing disappear? Or did the unresolved hurt, did that stay? So sometimes people try to repair physical attraction while ignoring the emotional disconnection underneath it.
Okay, now you talking to a vein. Listen, y'all stop tearing y'all body up if that man ain't said he had a problem with it. I'm telling y'all from experience. Women, don't be blaming the man for you making alterations. Hey, it's your body, do what you do. But don't blame the man because you don't like you. Well, I know what he like because I know what he's looking at. Well, when was the last time you had that conversation to know what he liked? I was in a relationship one time, and when I know you like this and you like that, and I was like, well, when did I ever complain about anything that you did? So we're not complaining about it. Now that can be a trap too, because sometimes if they're not complaining about it, because they like somebody somewhere else. But I'm not talking about
Another
them.
story for another day.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is that don't stress yourself trying to overindulge in making all these adjustments for somebody else outside of you that you're not even sure that don't like you. Because at the end of the day, hey, listen, you can get them pumped up to the point where you float, and that joker still ain't gonna like you. And watch this. As a man, a lot of times, yes, the external becomes the bait. But really, if you ain't intellectually sound, a lot of men don't care in a lot of spaces what you look like external. Cause what good is it to fix all this external and you still retarded and crazy? We can't even have a conversation to come up on how we gonna maintain the legacy for our kids. Cause you worrying about getting your eyebrows lasered. We spending $60,000 on a butt lift, but we $300,000 in debt. Make it make sense.
Another thing, love making starts before the bedroom.
Woo!
You can't be on one all day, not talk to your person,
Woo!
nasty attitude, and then get home and think somebody wants you touching them.
Okay, so now watch this. Now, mind you, we did not talk about this. Watch what this scripture right here said. Song of Solomon, a book that we don't talk about. He says, "Behold, thou art fair, my beloved, yea, pleasant. Also, our bed is what? Green." So, women, let me ask y'all a question. How often are y'all involved intimately, but you just going through the motions just to get through it? Because you really don't like the person that you with. How often do you fake being pleased to accommodate a moment, but truly you don't like it? They didn't do anything to stimulate your mind to get you to like what they even attempt to do. Let me go to the men's side. Men, we have to tap into that mental space. That's how we got messed up in the first place. You go back and according to what we read, the serpent was able to tap into that girl's mind and be able to get her to change her way of thinking. And guess what? Bam, she was caught. Women, if you really pay attention to what I said, you won't get caught up so much. Right? I'm sorry.
So some advice about rebuilding that connection affection. So rebuild connection intentionally. Flirt again. Compliment each other, hold hands, dress up for each other, make it look good for them, all that. Create anticipation. Talk without phones. Like you can talk with your eyes, little movement, little flirt. Remember what originally drew you to each other, but also discover who your spouse has become. Learning to enjoy each other again. So not every conversation has to be about the bills, the kids, life, schedules, problems, all that. Sometimes just say, what can we do to have fun on today? What can we do to have fun this weekend? Make plans to have fun because if you're not intentional about it, it's not going to happen because why? Life always happens. Um, Fun doesn't always have to cost money. You can cook together, you can dance in the kitchen, play cards, watch something funny, take a drive, compete over something ridiculous. Like we love competing at games. Like you just not going to beat me.
It'd be a war zone in here.
And so we both win some, lose some, but it'd be fun. It's creating that space of taking away all the adult responsibilities. Just like we can go to an arcade. We'll do the motorcycle, Dave and Buster on the cruise, like all that. Those moments, like forget the responsibilities of life and still be able to enjoy each other, even when you don't have everything that you desire. I'm keeping God at the center while doing the work. This one is very important because sometimes we can spiritualize what actually requires action.
You can say that one more time. Look, y'all, Jesus ain't finna come down here and sit on your bed and make y'all like each other. You got to put some effort into doing it. You can pray till your lips explode and still can't stand each other.
That's the first example.
Ooh, look at the
You
Lord.
can pray for better communication and still need to learn how to communicate. You can pray for your marriage and still need to apologize. Humble yourself. You can rebuke the enemy and still need to stop disrespecting each other. So a lot of times it don't be the enemy, it be your inner me, not wanting to die to yourself.
That's good.
You can ask God to restore intimacy and still need to address the resentment that destroyed the intimacy in the first place.
Hold on. So, one thing that I have learned to grasp hold to, your relationship should reflect your relationship. So if you're not communicating effectively here, how do you expect to be able to communicate effectively here? Matter of fact, there's a scripture paraphrasing. It talks to the husbands that husbands learn or pray or seek counsel or get wisdom on how to talk and how to reason on the knowledge of your wife. But there are two different kinds of knowledge. There's that spiritual knowledge to be able to tap into, right? And then there's the natural human side. When you say we spiritualize stuff, I'm just gonna pray about it. Baby, the Lord is going to, if it's really Christ, yeah, there's some things you need to pray about, but there's some things you need to be about and do about too. You can't sit here and be mad, hold a grudge, and then say, well, I'm just gonna pray that the Lord open or make him talk to me. Well, maybe the Lord trying to get you to talk to him. Maybe the reason why you don't like your spouse because God is trying to let you know that you don't really like him. Because your intimacy into me, I see that I need to work on me so that I can be in.
Get out my notes. Which is the next. You can pray, God, change my spouse, while God is saying, I'm trying to show you something about you too. Are we willing to sweep around our own front door? That's just how God do us. He be having us in each other's stuff. But it just shows the alignment. I love it.
Yeah.
So the very thing that you're complaining about your person, what if God is allowing it to happen to shift something in you? We can talk about these tests, trials, and tribulations all day long, but guess what? Ain't none of it happening just because. It's a lesson to be learned.
And sometimes, guess what? Those tests, trials, and tribulations are really being geared to push you closer to each other.
Definitely.
Because watch this. If I like you, as a man, I don't know it all. I don't have all the answers. I don't know all the strategies. I know the one that does, but there's sometimes when, hey, let's be open and transparent, men of God. There are sometimes where the reason why it's not going is because we're not responding correctly to the instruction that was given. So what the Lord will do, he'll aggravate her to aggravate you to get your attention so that you can like what he's saying. And it does not minimize your manhood. There are times where when it comes to certain things, this stigma of everybody thinking that the man, he ain't no man unless he can manage money. Well, why is you a woman and you can't manage money? Why is it that it's always expected that a man is supposed to have all his stuff together while we gotta fix you broken and toe up so you can tear our stuff up again? You don't even like you, but you expect me to make you like you. And then make me to like you when you don't like you. And you beat me up and put me in a deficit or making me pay for a deficit that I didn't even have anything to do with. I didn't tell you to pick Bobo, the reason why you don't like yourself. And here it is, I'm trying to love on you and try to communicate, and you want to argue. I don't want to argue with you. No.
I'm not going to play with you. Anyway, keeping God at the center doesn't mean God does all the work while we avoid ours. It means that his character becomes the standard for how we do the work. That means through love, through patience, through truth, through humility, through forgiveness, through self-control, through grace, and accountability. That's one of my favorite words, y'all. Accountability.
So can you be accountable to like your spouse?
And love your spouse even when you don't like your spouse.
And watch this. With that accountability makes it your responsibility to ensure that you are accountable to learning how to like your spouse when they're not likable.
So this one, I love y'all. Don't just ask God to save your marriage. Ask God to teach you how to participate in the marriage that you're asking Him to save.
Ooh.
God, save my marriage. Are you participating in a saved marriage?
Because imagine if God exposes you that you the problem and you the reason why your marriage ain't working.
Listen, Linda.
Because you know we're real quick to want to point the finger at everybody else. Oh, see, you see how she got up on the wrong side of the bed. I tried to hold her and she jumped away from me. And you want to make all these excuses for what? Maybe you're the problem, but you won't know that if you don't humble yourself and allow Holy Spirit to really deal with you. And that's one thing I do intentionally. Lord, help me to see where I need to adjust so that the communication. Watch this. Here's a transparent moment. Sometimes when we would get into a tense conversation, it wasn't that I was being aggressive as in trying to throw her out the window. It's just that my expression of how I express myself can be excited. Well, she interpreted it as you getting it all in my face and all this other stuff, and I'm ready to fight. And I'm like, well, no, that's not my intention. So guess what? No matter how many times I said, hey, I'm not getting in your face to fight you or beat you up. That's not even it. It's just that the passion and compassion that I have to trying to get to get a resolve to find the issue or find the answer to the problem causes me to get there. Hey, let's deal with it. But guess what? When she said that I don't like that because it causes me to it triggers some things that I'm still being made whole from. Guess what? I couldn't say, well, hey, you better get over that because I didn't do it. No, I had to say, okay, Lord, help me to learn how to watch this. Here go that scripture that gut punch me every time. A soft answer turneth away wrath, and grievous words stirs up strife. So sometimes you may have to stand across the room and whisper what you need to say.
Because you have to know your person. So the deep dive that a little more. I used to be a whole Negro back in my day. Okay, meaning that
She said she used to beat people up. She used to beat up men.
Can I have my testimony?
Make sure you make that clear. She used to beat up men.
I'm getting there, Judge. I used to be a whole Negro back in my day, meaning I grew up as a tomboy, and in relationships, I spoke with my hands. So, of course, and would dare them not to hit me back, and they would not. And if they would have, I was ready to go. With the uncles right behind me, didn't care. But it came to a point where I had to be responsible for self-control. Okay, had to begin to respond more positively. So I entered a zone where I said, okay, I vow to never touch a man regardless of what they do. So I think most of us call it the soft girl era. I call it evolving. I call it being more mature. I call it operating your fullness, self-control, all that good stuff. So in my dating spaces, if I encounter a man that didn't know how to talk or act like a Negro, and if it triggers something in me to the point where I got to possibly go back to where I worked hard to come back from, I can't deal with you. So one thing that we have to be real about when we know what's deep inside of us, because just because we don't operate in it doesn't mean it's not there. Let's be for real, church.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Because if the right situation hit you the wrong way,
You in there, Doc.
come on out,
Bail
right?
money.
So if I know what's in me, that means I have to create a space and an atmosphere and also communicate effectively to say, hey, I know this in me and it's not how I want to operate. So I don't mind hearing you. I don't mind hearing your compassion, but you got delivered it a different way. So instead of in those heated situations and whatever your heated situation may be, and it may rub you the wrong way, whether the way they say something, the way they move, or the way they may disregard what you say, whatever the case may be, if it trigger a space that you can no longer operate in self-control, there's a conversation that needs to be had. Hey, can you do this a little different so that we can have a better outcome? And so, yeah, that's the thing that I had to teach you. Yeah, you may not want to fight, but hey, I'm not yelling at you. I'm not being loud. I'm not in your face. I'm not in your space. Communicate with me effectively. But see, a lot of times we can be communicating in a way that once worked, or even the other person, they love that same communication.
That's right.
But see, everybody don't love that same kind of
That's right.
communication. So sometimes you got to teach a person how to communicate with you. It doesn't mean anyone wrong or right, but hey, if you want to reach me, let me help you
Right.
reach me.
Right.
So effective communication.
And you have to make sure that it's understood on both sides, because your body language is another form of communication too. Because we can be like, well, you know what? I ain't got nothing to say. You get to smacking and rolling your eyes and stumping stuff and slamming doors and all that, and it trigger a joker that male or female. And next thing you know, now they don't went to the kitchen and got pots. You see what I'm saying? So it's not always just a verbal thing. Sometimes it's a matter of fact. In a lot of cases, it's more of your body language. You know, especially when
tone.
you yeah, and tone, and especially when you're really trying to come to a resolve to figure out what the issue is, and then you're showing signs like you don't care. And when you got two people that can be extremely petty, it is not. It never turns out to be the way that it should be ever.
And that's the thing. When you know you can be petty, you have to intentionally not be petty.
Right.
It's critical. So, anything that you need to say before I do the close?
I'm about to say something you're supposed to know. No, go ahead. You good?
Okay, so
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Mhm.
so the goal isn't to always win the argument and lose connection with your spouse. Sometimes winning in marriage means that we both humble ourselves enough for the marriage to win. Stop fighting each other and start fighting for each other. A strong marriage isn't one that never experienced heat.
You said stop fighting each other and what now?
And start fighting for each other.
Watch this. I'm gonna give you another perspective of also fighting for each other, but let's fight with each other. I'm not saying fight against with each other against. Let's get on. Hey, let's fight with each other because you're not the issue. Whatever that is the issue, right? So I'm fighting for you, and I'm fighting with you, but not against you.
A strong marriage isn't the one that never experienced heat. It's the one that's been built to withstand it without allowing the heat to consume the covenant.
That's good.
So don't wait until your marriage is on fire to start protecting it from the heat. So I guess a little homework assignment, I guess we can say. So for the next 7 days, don't focus on fixing your marriage. Focus on rebuilding your friendship. Do one thing every day that friends would naturally do. Whether it's laugh together, send a funny text, give a genuine compliment, sit together without phones, take a drive, ask meaningful questions, flirt with each other, pray together, do something spontaneous. And at the end of those 7 days, ask your person, did you enjoy me this week? Did you enjoy me this week?
I do it every week,
I know
every
that's
day,
right, baby.
every second, every hour.
So,
Even in them tough moments. And that's the truth. You know why? Because of the simple fact that the outcome is going to always be worth whatever you make you have to make it up.
amen. So we definitely pray that this topic have opened our eyes, brought revelation, gave you some ideals to not only for a better marriage, but for a better self. Because you can't operate effectively together if you're not operating effectively individually. Because when you have a broken person, you have a healed person, it ain't healed.
Mhm.
But when you both intentionally working on being healed and whole and tearing down every stronghold that you know that's coming against your marriage, that's when you can start back enjoying, understand that regardless of what the disagreement is not the person person is the spirit of the thing. There's a lack of communication. There's somebody that ain't humbling their self die more. So it's so many different things that really is the root of the problem. So a lot of time the problem that you see, that's not really the problem. It's something that's underneath there.
That's right.
So I just encourage you all to dig deeper because you definitely enjoy to not only love and be in love, but you definitely enjoy to like each other, be able to enjoy each other, be able to always feel like you're on cloud nine, to always be in your newlywed season because it's possible. So definitely like, share, tag, and if you have any topics that you would like to hear in the future, we are definitely open to hearing it.
And watch this. At the end of the day, we always say, I ain't gotta like you, but I gotta love you. That's a lie. Because the more you like a person, the more you enjoy loving them. And I'm gonna put this tag on it. It's a sin not to like the woman you do or the man you said I do too. All hearts and minds clear.
Woo!
Just, just a quick reminder. Hey, listen. On September the 4th at 7 p.m., meet us called a chosen encounter. We're actually doing a tag team.
Yeah.
You survived it for a reason.
Ooh.
That's gonna be fun. We got Mom Bishop, Bishop Geraldine Bone Porterfield that's going words of exhortation. None other than our mom, Elder Marie Armstrong, is gonna be doing intercession. I have Big Brother down there with the music side, and my big sis Dondra is gonna be bringing the praise and worship once again. But hey, if you're not doing anything at 7 o'clock, come in expecting God. Don't expect a program, and let's hear what He has to say about you survived it for a reason. And with that being said, let me go ahead and put up the schedule real quick for the next Marriage According to Genesis is September the 22nd. Flyers will be coming out as well for you to be able to see what's going on. Oh, I knew it was something I wanted to tap into. Maybe next year we tried it last year, but it didn't go anywhere. We have people that be like, well, hey, we want to get together do a marriage retreat or go out with y'all, but then when we present it, y'all jokers don't I don't participate. So but we're gonna be intentional about taking those that are willing and want to go, and just to enjoy one another and learn from each other, because we are building community. We're not building a church, okay? Outside of you being the church, we're building communities. It's not about be the leader, the apostle, and all that other stuff. Because at the end of the day, if God is not the center of it, it ain't gonna have no foundation anyway. So be on the lookout for some activities of things coming up that we're praying and hoping that we want to see more healthier relationships than what we're seeing. And my last point in this, and the only reason I'm saying this because it hit my ear. It's a shame before God that you got two people that swear that they have the Holy Spirit but can't stand each other. But you got two people that we would say because of their mannerisms that ain't saved and don't have the Holy Spirit, and they love each other through hell and high water. It's our responsibility to change that narrative. Okay? Marriage According to Genesis is talking about relationships according to the original intent of God for covenant, and that we can grow. Hey, marriages are not growing old anymore. I've heard several stories where couples will be married 60, 70, or 80 years, and when the wife would go, the husband was 2 or 3 days behind because they were just that lot. Nowadays, you get married, you post it online, and 2 days later, y'all broke up and can't stand each other, hate each other. And you in the church, and you an apostle, bishop, prophet. So we want to change that. And I'm gonna say this, and I promise you, I get to be like 12 different closings.
That's him.
We're not based on just religious spaces. because every marital space has something to offer. I believe that, saved or not saved, you can learn something from anybody. And nowadays, the way it's looking, babe, it seems like the ones that people would say is unsaved is winning in their marital relationships through longevity than the ones that say that they heard from God. Because you shouldn't be getting married because of spiritual ministry stuff. No way. You should be getting married because of purpose. That's what Christ intended for you all to do. So, hey, learn to like each other, and that way it'll increase your love for each other. Okay. Our prayer and declaration to you is that you have heard something that will spark you to be intentional and willing so that it will make God um, allow you to be able to. Okay? Any questions, concerns, feel free to inbox us. We pray that all is well with you and your family. We love ya, and until next time, peace.
In this journey